Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a lovely car. This is a Honda CR-V 2.2 SE automatic diesel. This particular car's covered just 42,000 miles, finished in this beautiful passion red pearl, which the videos never do justice to. Seen in the flesh, it is a gorgeous colour for this car, it really is, and looks fantastic in different lights. The car is in absolutely beautiful condition. Front of the car, lights and lenses are clear, intact, no cracks, no condensation. I do apologise, it's a bit windy today, so I do hope you can hear me. Bonnet and bumper, absolutely unmarked. It's wonderfully clean. Near side of the vehicle, passenger side, mirror smooth in the panel work, absolutely immaculate there. Near side front alloy, completely unmarked. And the panels down this near side are just so crisp, so clean, so it's got a lovely natural gleam to it. Offside there, near side rear alloy, again completely unmarked. Come around the back, bumper corners, just again no blemishes. Load area, plastics, hatch again likewise, just wonderfully clean. Then offside of the vehicle, as with the near side, is just stunningly clean. It really is. It's going to be one of the very best out there. Offside rear alloy, again absolutely unmarked there, and the remaining panel work is simply beautiful. And then final alloy, again completely unmarked, so the sun's just started to come out now, so you can see part of it in the sun at least anyway. Hard to believe there's many, if any, in this sort of condition out there. Coming to the boot area now, again wonderfully clean, and not always the case with CR-Vs. They are family cars and they can be very heavily used, but this one's been treated very gently. Coming into the back, massive amounts of room in the back here, and all in absolutely beautiful condition, which unfortunately the video doesn't really show. So coming on the passenger side at the front, again all lovely and clean. There is a full set of original Honda mats in the car, and passenger seat on the front there, absolutely beautiful as well. So finally coming to the driver's door card, again absolutely wonderfully clean, as are the footwell areas and the driver's seat itself, which shows virtually no wear at all. Inside the car now, engine's running through the section so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard looks absolutely as new. If you pop the car into reverse there, get that lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should, but it is in absolutely fabulous condition in here. Come up to the main binnacle, and pan in there for you. 42,142 miles. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all, but videos sometimes don't really do justice, and this is certainly one of those times. Finally, just to quickly show you, owner's manual, pack and lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 SE diesel automatic. This particular car is registered SV13OJF, and the mileage is just 42,142 miles. The reason we do these videos is basically so if anyone's looking at this car, or any of our cars actually, online in our adverts, they actually get to see the car advertised actually in operation. The reason we think that's important is because we know to our cost, unfortunately, just how frustrating it can be to go and see cars which can look perfectly good in the descriptions and photographs, but only to find out when you drive the car it's got a fundamental issue that shows up whilst driving it. So that's why we do it. We also do it on these very quiet country roads. This actually forms part of the road test route that we go on, and the reason for that is that this will hopefully then be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car itself, clearly a very low mileage car, quite rare for this age and vintage vehicle. Engine starts absolutely instantly, of course, and settles to completely even, smooth idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge is at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle, by the way. And the car's been running for quite some time now, so clearly up to full operating temperature. The engines, as I say in all of these videos, the CR-Vs on the i-DTECs, is a brilliant, brilliant engine. It really is. It's just very smooth. It's powerful, but it's got a lovely refinement to it. So when you put your foot down like now, even in low gear, sorry, it's coming up with saying it's -3 or below 3 degrees outside, just let me know that. It hasn't got that horrible, harsh, diesely noise that some diesels have, and it's, even at relatively low speeds, at higher speeds, you just wouldn't know it was a diesel. I mean, it is a brilliant engine. On top of which, it's a classic Honda engine. It's incredibly long-lasting, with just normal servicing, and the most reliable engine that's classed by a country mile, in all honesty, especially when you get to this kind of age. Engine then feeds through into the automatic gearbox, which is a beautiful match for the car. Background to that particular gearbox, by the way, is the fact that Honda didn't actually have one for the car when they first designed the diesels. So the first diesels they had actually weren't available as automatics back in the day, back in 2006 or so. So what they did, a bit of engineering overkill in all honesty, is they used the gearbox out of the Honda Legend, their flagship car at the time, and that was designed for over 300 horsepower. So when you think this is half the power but probably similar levels of torque, that's why they did it, because the standard gearbox wouldn't have been strong enough for the torque that the engines produce. And what it gives you is a lovely gearbox, very well chosen ratios to get the best out of the engine in terms of economy and performance, but it's slick in operation, very, very smooth gear changes. Notwithstanding reputation, by the way, no matter how tough these gearboxes are, you should still do the same checks with them. Just make sure that when you select into drive and reverse from stationary, there's no kind of delays or clunks as it engages, and all the gear changes should be smooth, and they definitely are. Steering of the vehicle, always been a strong point on the CR-Vs, because it's nicely weighted, it makes the car feel nice and secure on the road, track's nice and straight, there's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to legal limit, but it's precise, it's accurate, it's exactly what you want to be for this type of car, because overly enthusiastic, too short geared, and it'll make the car feel unsettled, and yet it's not like some SUVs where you have to wind the lock on, it feels vague. These are really nicely done. Same goes for the chassis, because it works perfectly with the steering. Honda know this market so well, because the CR-V is the best selling SUV in the world, and it's easy to see why, because they strike a beautiful balance between giving you very good body control through the corners, so there's not a huge amount of pitching and wallowing, notwithstanding the fact the car is obviously taller than most. So when you do a manoeuvre like I'm going to do now, which is, you know, basically a U-turn, some SUVs kind of seem to keel over. These stay very flat, they're not porpoising about, but on the main road it's a very, very comfortable ride. It's beautifully done. What I'm also looking for on road test, by the way, is any kind of noises coming from underneath the vehicle. It shouldn't be there, so you'll hear it hitting a bump, but you shouldn't hear any kind of clatterings or knockings, and there's nothing at all. It's absolutely perfect in that respect. Brakes in the car, just going to hold on to something, give them a good brake. Nice solid initial bites, good solid pedal on the car. What I'm looking for particularly with automatics, there shouldn't be any kind of rumblings or pulsing to the brake pedal, and there's none at all, because that normally shows up front brake disc wear, because obviously you're putting more energy through the brakes on the automatic cars. Coming inside the vehicle, as I often say in these videos, the first thing you notice, or more to the point you don't, is the lack of noise inside them. They're quiet, but no rattles, no squeaks, no buzzers, nothing. It is a brilliantly built car. It's also a lovely place to sit. You've got brilliant visibility, huge wing mirrors. You feel as though you're in control of the car. You don't feel as though you're trapped inside struggling for visibility. It's a very, very well done. The dashboard itself is really simple and easy to operate, and all working perfectly. You've got a high up display there for information, so if you press a button down here, you get a big display up there. You don't have to look down into the car to do that. Radio is just brilliant because it's big, simple. I mean, it's so easy to come to terms with. You've got a dual zone climate control system, so you can have different temperatures side to side, all working perfectly. We checked the car in a nice warm workshop earlier on, and it blows out lovely cold air. What videos can't show you is just the lovely tactile feel of the switches. They've got a lovely kind of rubbery click action to them, very high quality indeed. And Honda do that kind of thing brilliantly because they want the first things you lay your fingers on in the car to feel nice to the touch, and they do. I mean, it's a daft little thing, but over years of driving cars, things can really irritate. Very few things could possibly annoy you in this car. It's just a really nicely done machine. In front of me here is a dash binnacle, which is simple, easy, legible, perfect. The steering wheel, small in diameter, feels great in hand. It's obviously leather bound. Obviously you've got all the functions on there, cruise control, which all works perfectly, by the way. Information display, radio, upper displays, that kind of stuff. And it feels, as I said, just like new to hold. This is a four-wheel drive car, albeit there are no buttons to press on it because basically the car does it all for you. Honda again worked out really quickly that the vast majority of people buying these cars will be driving as I am today in perfectly good conditions, so kind of why have the four-wheel drive wearing away? If you've got permanent four-wheel drive, unfortunately it has the habit of using more fuel because obviously the friction involved, the extra losses, more mechanical stresses put through the car, and they certainly get through their tyres more quickly. If you lose grip on the front wheels because it runs in front wheel drive pretty much the whole time, which is the most efficient way to pull a car along, it instantly brings in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive. It's brilliant. I've used them in snow, I've used them when I'm towing my caravan across muddy fields, and I've never come close to getting stuck with one. And its simplicity gives it its reliability, because we've been selling Hondas of this type for nearly 3 decades using this type of system and never put a spanner on one of them. So it is very, very tough indeed. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it is to pick up any issues, no matter what they might be. There's nothing at all. It drives absolutely perfectly. And as I say, we have been selling them for a long time. I used to work at the Honda main dealer, so we know these cars very, very well indeed. And I've owned loads of this particular model. And this is a really tight, fresh car. It's lovely. If you've got any questions at all, don't hesitate. Do give us a call.